Hi dears, welcome back. Very happy to see your smiling faces. Indeed, this is a hard time for all of us. But let us keep all our worries aside and put on your beautiful smiles and be determined to utilize our time in the best way possible. Today's class is about tenses, which we have already studied, and like sometimes you may be thorough with it, but this class is actually meant to help you to deal with questions like gap filling and editing. So shall we start? And as you know, tenses denote the time of action, the time when an action actually happens. So according to the time of the action, we have past, present and future tenses. And each of this tense denotes the time of that particular action. But these three tenses alone sometimes cannot narrate or cannot describe the nature of that action. So according to the nature of action, these three tenses are again subdivided into four. And so each tense form, that is past, present and future, each of this tense form have four forms again. So there will be a simple form, a continuous one, a perfect form and a perfect continuous form. So like that, all together we have 12 tense structures. And before we go in detail about each one of these tense forms, actually you must know about the forms of verbs. This also you have studied before. So every verb has a base form and then a past form, a simple past form which we can represent as V2. Then a past participle form, generally we term it as V3. And in simple present tense, to make the verb singular, we add either or S or ES. So an S or ES form is there for a verb. And in continuous forms, to denote the continuous actions, we add ing to the verb. So like that, an ing form. So the 5 different forms of the verbs is illustrated in the table. Like for example, play. When you change it as simple past, V2, it is played, and past participle V3 is again played. And if you change it as S or ES form, it becomes plays, and then if you are adding ing, it becomes playing. And some verbs are like this, easily they forms their past form and past participle form by adding ed. But there are certain other verbs which are known as irregular verbs. Just like the example run. How will you change it as simple past? Yes, ran. And then if you are changing it as past participle, again it is run. If you are adding S or ES, runs. ing form is running. And if you change the verb as go, you know that go has all the three different forms for simple past and past participle. So when you change go into simple past form, it becomes went. Past participle is gone. And if you are adding S or ES, it is goes and then going, ing form. So like this, we have to be aware of the 5 different forms. Now let us discuss about present tense. So tell me, which are the 4 different tenses that will be there in under this present tense? As you know, simple present tense, present continuous, present perfect tense, and then present perfect continuous. So now what I'm going to tell you is how can you identify the tense by using certain keywords. Okay, so the first one is simple present tense. So as you know, simple present tense denotes either a habitual action or a universal truth or certain facts. For example, I exercise every day. So here it's a habitual action. So we use the simple present form. Then if the example is sun rises in the east. you know that it's a universal truth. So it should be represented in simple present tense. Then you play football every day. Again, it shows that it is an habitual action. Now, all these things we have studied, but let me ask you, do you know where we will add s and where we will add the base form of the verb? So it's very simple. Along with the pronouns I, you, we and they, we use the base form of the verb. Just like in the example, exercise, then play. And if the sentence starts with the pronouns he, she, it, then we have to add s or es with the verb. Just like sun rises in the east. And most of the sentences they which are to be used in simple present tense, you have to find out the word keyword, and most of the sentences will carry one such keyword. For example, always, regularly, daily, often, every day, normally, generally, usually, occasionally, frequently, like that. Any of the word which tells you that the action happens in a regular routine, it will be mentioned in the sentence. So if you see those words in the sentence, you can be very sure that the tense to be used in that sentence is simple present tense. Is that clear? Now let's discuss about present continuous tense. So from the word itself we can understand continuous. It denotes an action which is ongoing. So like what I am doing now. I am teaching. I am teaching English now. So an action which is going on in the present. And then sometimes the same present continuous is used to denote an action which are happening, which denote some changes. Just like the number of coronavirus cases are increasing, is increasing day by day. So number of coronavirus cases is increasing. So the number is the subject, so we are using is. Then you are, what are you doing right now? You are listening to me at this moment. So it's an action which is going on. So present continuous denotes an action which is either an ongoing action in the present or some changes which are happening right now. Now, along with which all pronouns? So generally, am teaching, are teaching or is teaching. You can see three different structures there. So generally, either is, am or are plus ing form of the verb is the structure. Along with I, we use am. Along with he, she and it, we can use is. Along with you, we and they, you can use are. So most of the sentences will have words like now, at this moment or at present or day by day. Such keywords you can see in this kind of sentences. Now the next tense is present perfect tense. And present perfect tense denotes an action which is actually completed in the past, but it is connected to the present. So it can denote your experiences sometimes or a recently completed action. So for example, he has completed his homework just now. So the work is completed. The time in which he completed is actually a past time now, but the work is completed and it is connected just now. It is connected to the present. Then I have already booked the tickets. So maybe I have booked the tickets before, 1 or 2 days before, but still I am owning them. I have it in my hand, or I can assure that I have the tickets. So it's connected to the present. Then we have visited Mysore Palace. Maybe the visiting that happened years back, but still you can say that it is your experience and that memory is still with you. So you can say that I have visited or we have visited Mysore Palace. So present perfect tense is actually denoting a action which happened in the past but connected to the present. And so it can denote your experience also. So in the case of pronouns, like along with I, you, we and they, you can use have. Then along with he, she, it, you can use has. Now about the keywords, you can see the words like just now, already, yet, ever, lately or recently. So these are the keywords which tells you that in that particular sentence you have to use a present perfect tense. Now the last form, present perfect continuous. Present perfect continuous means from the word you can guess it's an ongoing action, but it's perfect. Perfect denotes that it is a past action. So present perfect continuous denotes an action which began in the past but still going on in the present. Just like I have been teaching here since 2013. So 2013 is a past time, you know that. So since then I am working here, I am still continuing there. So such actions you can denote in present perfect continuous. Another example, you have been learning English for 10 years, isn't it? Aren't you all learning English for 10 years? So it began in the past and even now you are learning it. Then another example, they have been playing here since morning for the last few hours. So they started playing before a few hours, so it's a past time, but what are they doing now? They are still playing. So such action which began in the past but still continuing in the present, that you can denote using present perfect continuous. So in such sentences, there will be a time reference which tells you that it began in the past, just like since 2013 or for a few years or for a few hours, like that. Either a phrase will be there which starts with since or for. That is the keyword that you have to keep in your mind to know whether it is present perfect continuous. Okay. So whether the four forms of present tense is clear to you. Now let us discuss about past tense. So the first form is simple past tense. Simple past tense always denote a completed action in the past. Just like I completed my work yesterday. So the work is fully completed in the previous day. So we will use the second form of the verb, simple past form of the verb in the sentences. Like last week I told you a story. So again that action is completed in the past. We went to OT last year. So all these sentences denote actions which are completed in the past, and some keywords will be given in the sentences, just like yesterday, ago, last night, the previous day, once upon a time, in the past or previous week, like that. One keyword will be there which tells you that in that sentence you have to use simple past tense. Okay. Now let's discuss about past continuous tense. Past continuous tense denote an incompleted action which is mostly mentioned with a completed action. For example, I was sleeping when you called. So the I was sleeping is an incomplete action. I was doing that, but before I complete, what happened? You called. Another completed action happened. Okay. So your parents were cleaning the house when I when I came there. So your parents were cleaning. The action was continuously happening when I came there. So we don't know whether they completed cleaning or no. So it was an incomplete action. So such actions we will denote using past continuous tense. Okay. So we will use most with the pronouns like I, he, she and it, because all these are singular. And then along with you, we and they, we will use the auxiliary verb were. Okay. So that is the thing which you have to remember. Now the next tense is past perfect tense. Past perfect tense is used in sentences in which we denote two past actions. So both will be in the actions in the past, but the action which was completed in the first, completed in that past time, which action is completed first, that we will denote using past perfect, and then the second action we will denote using simple past tense. Just like a thief had run away before the police arrived. So two actions happened. One is the thief had run away, and then what happened? The police arrived. Both these actions happened in the past, but the action which was completed first is the thief running away. So we denote it in past perfect. The thief had run away. And then another example, the train had left the station before I reached. So again, both these actions happened in the past, but the first action that happened is the train leaving the station. So the train had left the station before I reached there. So in case two actions are mentioned in a sentence, then the first completed action you have to denote using past perfect tense, and the other action you have to use simple past tense. Okay. Now the next form, past perfect continuous tense. Past perfect continuous tense denote a continuous action in the past before another completed action happens. For example, I had been working at the company for 5 years when I got a promotion. So here I had been working at the company for 5 years. It happened in past, and I was doing that, and then another action happened that I got a promotion. Then Mike wanted to sit down because he had been standing all day at work. So Mike wanted to sit down. That was a completed action, and before that, what was happening? He had been standing the whole day. Then you had been waiting there for more than 2 hours when she finally arrived. So she arrived. Before that, the action which was continuously happening was you had been waiting there for more than 2 hours. So like that, the action which began in the past and was continuous until a moment where another action happened. Such actions we will denote using past perfect continuous. Now let's discuss about future tense. Future tense, the first form is simple future. Simple future tense always denotes an immediate future. And like I will come to your house, or I shall come to your house tomorrow. So here a correct future time is given there, tomorrow. So there you have to use simple future tense. Then he will reach in the next week. So again the future time is mentioned, like next week. So here the keywords will be tomorrow, next day, next week, or next year. Like that, a future time will be given in the sentence, and there you have to use simple future tense. And then future continuous tense. Future continuous tense, we expect that an action which will be continuous in the future. Just like I will be attending my online classes at 10 a.m. tomorrow. So you expect that the action will be continuous in the future, in a particular future time. So like that, a future time will be mentioned in the sentence. Then you will be studying in another section in the next year. So you expect that the action will be continuous in the next year. So like that, what do you expect? That action will be continuous in the future time, in a particular future time, that we can denote using future continuous tense. Now, future perfect tense. Future perfect tense, perfect, I told you that word denotes a completed action. But future perfect tense denotes an action which you expect that it will be completed by a time in future. Just like your mother will have cooked your favorite dish by the time you complete your class. So you expect that in the immediate future, once when you complete your class and go to her, your mother will have cooked it. So what you expect will be completed in the future. Such actions we will denote using future perfect tense. Then you will have completed your 10th standard by this time next year. So again you are expecting that your action, that studying or your 10th standard will be completed by this time in the next year. That we expect that it will be completed. Again, I will have shifted to my new house in the coming April. Again, I expect that every works will be completed and I will shift to my new house in the coming April. So it's a future time. So such action which we imagine or as per a schedule which we expect that it will be completed in the future. Such actions we will denote using future perfect tense. Then future perfect continuous tense. And this also, it is our expectation that that action will be continuous in the future. And in such sentences, the duration will be mentioned. Just like Ram will have been waiting for an hour by the time I meet him. So you know that Ram starts waiting at 9 o'clock, and then I am late and I cannot even reach at 9 o'clock, and I'll reach there only by 10 a.m. So I expect that if I reach there at 10 a.m., Ram will have been waiting there for 1 hour. Okay, so you will have been playing for more than 2 hours when your mother arrives to pick you. So the time is given that mother will come only after 2 hours. So or almost after 2 hours. So you can say that I will have been waiting here for 2 hours when my mother arrives to pick me. Then next month I will be studying Chinese for 2 years. So next month is a future time, and if you are continuing your studies in Chinese, then you can say that I will have been studying Chinese for 2 years by the next month. So this is future perfect continuous. But these like other than simple future, rest of the future tense forms are very like rarely used. The frequently used tense in future is simple future tense. Now here we have the all the structure and the immediate use of tense forms. Like all the tense forms are given this table. So you can refer to the structure of the sentences, and then like what is the immediate use of each tense, that is also mentioned in this table. And like what all things we have discussed, everything is just consolidated in this table. So you can refer this in case of any doubts. Okay, so I hope you understood the topic very well. So now go prepare very well, and if you have any doubts, and don't hesitate, just clear everything. You can contact me at any time. Thank you.